here's the interesting thing. You know who may lose his job, at least according to some of the rumors, is the CEO of Stellantis, Carlos Tavares.
As the dust begins to settle on what can only be described as a chaotic year for Stellantis, the automotive world is abuzz with a shocking announcement. CEO Carlos Tavares has been fired in the wake of a major public revolt from US dealers. This turmoil isn't merely a leadership change, it signals a much deeper crisis within the automotive giant. But what does this mean for the future of Stellantis? Will the company be able to recover from this leadership shakeup, or is it too late to regain dealer trust? Stellantis in crisis. Stellantis is a huge player in the automotive industry formed from the merger of Fiat Chrysler and PSA Group. It's a group of well-known brands, including Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler. With such a massive portfolio, you'd assume they have everything under control, right? Well, not lately. The road has become bumpy, and dealers across the US are fed up, and they've been vocal in expressing their dissatisfaction. The company's profits have taken a staggering hit, plummeting by nearly 48% in the first half of 2024. That's not just a drop, it's a nosedive that has left many stakeholders questioning the very foundation upon which Stellantis was built. The discontent that had been brewing among dealers erupted dramatically into the open when the Stellantis National Dealer Council took a bold stand. They didn't hold back, issuing a scathing open letter that pointed fingers directly at Tavares, accusing him of reckless decision-making. Such decisions, they argued, have led to the degradation of some of the most iconic brands in automotive history, like Jeep and Chrysler. Their decline is not something that can be brushed aside lightly. It is crystal clear that the financial challenges confronting US dealerships lie at the core of this escalating divide. Let me explain. Dealer frustrations. Many dealers find themselves with a mountain of excess vehicles, particularly models that aren't exactly flying off the lots. The Stellantis National Dealer Council has pointed out a particularly frustrating issue. There simply aren't enough popular trim levels available for sought-after models like the Jeep Grand Cherokee and Wrangler. Imagine having customers walk into your dealership ready to buy, only to realize you don't have the cars they want. Talk about a missed opportunity. This mismatch has led to stagnating sales, and on top of that, increasing holding costs. That's a double whammy, friends. As inventory piles up, it hits dealers right in the pocketbook and puts even more pressure on their already dwindling profitability. Now let's talk about declining profits. The financial health of many dealerships is looking less than stellar these days, and it's not just a fluke. A combination of factors is at play here, primarily stemming from decreased sales volumes, a tough market, and some controversial changes in Stellantis' compensation structures. Here's the scoop. Stellantis has rolled out cost-saving measures that tie dealer compensation to vehicle shipments rather than actual sales. That means if a dealer has a bunch of cars sitting around collecting dust, they may not see the revenue they'd hoped for. It's like being punished for trying to promote what you have. Additionally, cuts to cooperative marketing funds have made it even trickier for dealers to effectively promote their inventory. With these funds slashed, it's like asking a painter to create a masterpiece but cutting their supply of paint and brushes. The cherry on top of this dismal Sunday is the erosion of market share. Stellantis has seen a significant drop, reported at an alarming 21% in the second quarter. As the brand's strength and consumer interest fade, dealers are left in a precarious position. Reduced foot traffic translates to fewer sales, which leads to an uphill battle for dealers trying to keep their operations afloat. This situation undoubtedly creates a sense of urgency. Without substantial support or adjustments from the manufacturer, it feels almost impossible for these businesses to weather this storm. So what does all this mean for the automotive landscape? It suggests a troubling trend where the disconnect between Stellantis and its dealer network is widening, threatening the stability of dealerships and the brand's reputation as a whole. Unpacking the grievances. If these challenges persist unchecked, it could lead to more than just a rift. It could threaten the viability of many dealerships. Perhaps one of the most alarming aspects brought to light in the Stellantis scandal is the perceived communication breakdown. The dealer council expressed genuine frustration in their letter, stating that their concerns have gone unheard for over 2 years. That's right, 2 years. This peculiar situation hints at a systemic issue where the tunnel vision of executives has led to an unfortunate disconnect. By publicly airing their grievances, the dealers are taking a bold step, something rarely seen in such insurance-based professional relationships. In response to these accusations, Stellantis took a defensive stance, highlighting the launch of what they deem an action plan, a plan that they claim led to a 21% increase in sales in August compared to the month prior, and a slight uptick in market share. However, despite the reams of statistics showcased, the dealers remain skeptical. They aren't buying into the company's rosy portrayal of the situation. They know the underlying issues are complex and far from resolved. This skepticism reflects a gap between the executives' confidence and the dealers' lived experience on the front lines of the auto retail space. While the internal conflicts within the company are making headlines, the external challenges they face are equally daunting and cannot be overlooked. Market challenges. If we take a step back and see the bigger picture, it becomes apparent that Stellantis must contend with a whirlwind of market pressures that significantly complicate its operational strategies and long-term vision. One of the most significant changes rattling the automotive industry is the incredible shift towards electric vehicles. And let's be honest, this transition isn't just a minor bump in the road, it's as pivotal as it gets. Consumer demand is surging and regulatory frameworks are evolving, increasingly focusing on reducing carbon emissions. It's almost like a generational shift in how we think about mobility. However, here's the catch. Stellantis has found itself criticized for lagging behind its competitors in this transformative journey towards electrification. This isn't just a minor critique, it's the kind of spotlight no company wants to be under. While automakers across the globe are rapidly ramping up their electric vehicles offerings, Stellantis seems to be struggling just to keep pace. It's akin to running a marathon while others are sprinting ahead. This slow movement towards electrification is having serious repercussions for their sales performance, with competitors capturing the interests of eco-conscious consumers who are eager for greener options. As consumers increasingly embrace electric alternatives, the ominous shadow of stagnation looms over Stellantis, and it's casting a pall over their market presence. Consumer sentiment. When we talk about enthusiasm for electric vehicles, we're essentially describing a roller coaster ride, up, down, and all around. Over the past few months, consumer excitement for electric vehicles has fluctuated, and this unpredictability is wreaking havoc on Stellantis' plans to launch new electric models. Imagine gearing up for a big game, but finding that the energy in the stadium has waned. That's kind of what Stellantis is facing right now. With the automotive landscape shifting beneath their feet, the company has heavily invested its upcoming product launches into electric vehicles. However, this is happening during a time when consumer interest in electric vehicles appears to be tepid, particularly when compared to the buzz and excitement generated in previous years. So, what does this mean for Stellantis? It implies that they might be stepping onto a stage that isn't fully prepared to applaud their performance, which complicates their efforts to captivate buyers. In a market that's rapidly evolving and adapting to new consumer preferences, staying ahead of the curve is absolutely essential. For Stellantis, the challenge lies not just in rolling out exciting new electric models, but also in aligning them with shifting consumer priorities and behaviors. It's like trying to hit a moving target. One minute, consumers are hyped about electric sedans. The next, they've switched gears, showing a preference for rugged electric SUVs. Stellantis needs to decode these trends and align its offerings accordingly if it hopes to capitalize on emerging opportunities. As if navigating consumer sentiment isn't tough enough, Stellantis faces another layer of complexity with regulatory changes across various regions. Governments worldwide are rolling out new policies aimed at promoting environmentally friendly transportation options, pushing manufacturers towards greener technology. These changes bring an immense sense of urgency. After all, compliance isn't just another box to check, it's essential for staying competitive in the marketplace. Stellantis must tread carefully, ensuring it not only meets these regulatory requirements, but also anticipates future ones. Falling behind and adhering to new standards could spell disaster. Less compliant companies may find themselves facing hefty fines or restrictions that impact their ability to develop and market products effectively. Given how quickly regulations can change, the stakes are incredibly high. Competitive landscape. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the surge of Chinese automakers taking the US market by storm. We're seeing an increasing wave of competition, and it's shaking things up for established players like Stellantis. These newcomers are not just throwing their hats into the ring, they're doing it in style, offering competitive prices and fresh tech that's getting the attention of many consumers. In today's economy where every dollar counts, shoppers are definitely on the lookout for value. And let me tell you, the innovations from these Chinese brands are particularly enticing. increasing. The impact of this influx is no small matter. Stellantis is feeling the heat as this competition threatens to chip away at its market share and profitability, and it's a challenge that cannot be overlooked. Just think about it. With more choices on the table, consumers are empowered like never before, and that translates to tough conditions for companies that aren't adapting fast enough. Stellantis needs to wake up and smell the coffee, or risk losing more ground to these agile competitors. Now, let's dig deeper into what this means for Stellantis. The combination of internal management hiccups and these external pressures has resulted in a noticeable decline in the company's grasp on the market. You've heard it right. Key brands like Ram and Jeep, once juggernauts in their category, are seeing their sales drop significantly compared to previous years. It's like watching a once mighty ship slowly sink in uncharted waters. The road ahead is strewn with challenges, and navigating this constantly evolving automotive landscape is no easy feat. One might wonder, why is Stellantis falling behind? Part of the problem could lie in internal management issues that have plagued the company. It's no secret that effective leadership is essential for steering the ship, but when the helm is unstable, chaos can ensue. Stellantis is in a battle against time. It must address these internal complications while simultaneously combating an aggressive wave of competitors. Balancing these aspects is crucial if it hopes to reclaim its footing in the market. As new players continue to flood into this competitive arena, Stellantis faces the daunting task of reimagining its strategies. We live in a tech-savvy world, and consumers expect nothing less than innovation in their vehicles. The likes of Tesla and other tech-driven car makers have set high expectations. Traditional automakers must adapt or risk becoming relics of the past. Stellantis needs to step up its game in terms of technology and features, ensuring that it's not left behind as the industry races toward electrification and next-gen tech. Now, let's take a closer look at what exactly went wrong for Stellantis in this rapidly evolving automotive landscape. Stellantis' bold gamble. Initially under the leadership of CEO Carlos Tavares, Stellantis aggressively targeted the Chinese market, and boy, did they have success written all over them. So what made their approach so compelling? For starters, Tavares had his eyes set on China, an automotive juggernaut and the biggest player in the global market. Not only is China a vast market with countless consumers eager for vehicles, but it's also leading the charge in new energy vehicles. With awareness of these dynamics, Stellantis was determined to build a formidable presence in this thriving landscape. They kicked things off by establishing a dedicated research and development center in Shanghai, boasting a robust team of over 1,300 skilled engineers. This crew wasn't just playing around, they were laser focused on creating electric and connected vehicles that resonate with the expectations of modern drivers. Then the company recognized it couldn't go in alone if it wanted to thrive alongside local competitors. It needed to forge meaningful partnerships. Thus, Stellantis strategically ramped up its involvement in joint ventures. One notable move was increasing its share in the partnership with JC Group from 50% to 75%. Why did they do this? It's all about aligning more closely with the local market. By owning a larger portion of that venture, Stellantis could ingratiate itself within the unique dynamics of consumer preferences and expectations. Local expertise became their secret potent weapon. With this strategy, they were able to better navigate China's intricate regulatory frameworks. No easy feat, as every local market has its own set of challenges and quirks. Now, let's talk about the results. Initially, Stellantis' strategic maneuvers bore fruit, and the company was quick to report a rise in sales figures in the ever-competitive Chinese market. This wasn't just a stroke of luck. It was a product of hard work and poignant market analysis. By focusing on localized production and crafting marketing strategies that ticked all the right boxes, Stellantis made a name for itself among the throng of automotive giants vying for attention. The company had, at least for a time, successfully carved out a space for itself in a bustling environment. Their early success didn't just stop there. The innovations coming out of that Shanghai Research and Development Center were nothing short of inspiring. Stellantis was setting its sights on creating vehicles that aligned with the evolving lifestyles of drivers who wanted modern features, connectivity, and sustainability. It was clear that electric vehicles were burgeoning in popularity, pushing traditional car manufacturers to rethink how they engage with consumers. Stellantis reacted admirably, staying ahead of the curve. But despite those exhilarating early successes, when Stellantis made its debut in 2021, prioritizing short-term gains has left the company facing some serious long-term challenges. Let me break it down to you. The aftermath? Let's talk about declining sales, shall we? The immediate profit-driven tactics that Stellantis employed worked well for a hot minute. However, those strategies proved to be less than sustainable when the dust settled. Reports indicate that sales have seen a disheartening drop in both the US and Chinese markets. For instance, in the US, key brands like Jeep and Ram have been caught in a tailspin, with sales figures sharply declining. This decline raises some serious red flags about the overall health of the company. After all, a strong indicator of an automaker's vitality lies in the number of vehicles flying off the lots. Then there's the issue of market share erosion. By putting the emphasis squarely on short-term profitability, Stellantis has tragically let substantial market share slip through its fingers. The competitive landscape is evolving faster than you can say. Electric vehicle. Established automakers are pivoting their strategies toward greener options, while new contenders from China are charging forward, aggressively capturing market segments with innovative products and enticing pricing. Stellantis, gripped by the allure of quick profits, risks losing its footing in a fast-changing environment. As we dig further into this messy situation, we come across the degradation of the brand itself. It's a tough pill to swallow, but dealers have been vocally critical of CEO Carlos Tavares' management style. Many feel he's neglected the very soul of the brand, arguing that his obsession with immediate financial results has eroded the integrity of iconic names like Jeep and Chrysler. When the professionals trying to sell these vehicles express concern, you know something is amiss. The fallout is significant. A fractured relationship with dealers leaves them feeling unsupported and frustrated as they try to navigate the increasingly challenging landscape while selling vehicles effectively. Imagine being a dealer trying to represent a brand that was once the epitome of American strength and adventure, only to feel left in the dark as the management pivots toward short-term strategies and profit metrics. That's a recipe for disaster. The role of dealers in the automotive ecosystem is undeniably crucial. They serve as the front line, connecting customers with the manufacturers. If dealers lose faith, it translates into a shaky foundation for Stellantis as a whole. Amid these critical issues, it's worth pondering the broader implications of Stellantis' approach. The company might have paid the price for not investing in its core values, those elements that made these brands household names in the first place. You see, building a resilient and lasting brand goes beyond just chasing profits. It's about nurturing a brand identity that resonates with consumers over the long haul. By sidelining this fundamental principle, Stellantis risks fading into the background, overshadowed by competitors who appreciate the importance of longer-term strategies. Stellantis versus the electric vehicle titans. Now let's dive into the fascinating landscape of electric vehicles and see how Stellantis' story stacks up against that of competitors like Tesla and the emerging wave of dynamic Chinese brands. The comparison is striking and showcases a breadth of strategies, successes, and challenges. Let's kick things off with the undeniable dominance of Tesla. This powerhouse has mastered the art of positioning itself as a leader in the electric vehicle market, and it hasn't happened by chance. No sir, Tesla's success stems from a relentless commitment to innovation paired with a rock-solid brand identity that resonates with consumers. While many players in the game are scrambling to keep up, Tesla has its eyes trained firmly on long-term growth strategies. They've made extensive investments in battery technology, which is crucial for electrified driving, along with a robust infrastructure that supports EV ownership. Think charging stations galore. As a result of these bold moves, Tesla has not only maintained significant market share, but has also sparked a growing consumer interest in electric vehicles. Now, flip the coin and look at the vibrant scene with emerging Chinese brands like Leapmotor and XPeng. These newcomers are sprinting ahead by offering high-quality electric vehicles at prices that won't break the bank. Their agility and innovation means that they can quickly respond to consumer preferences, which is an essential advantage in today's fast-paced market. These brands are not just playing in the domestic arena, they're making waves internationally, and that's no small feat. Stellantis has recognized the competitive landscape and taken a step forward by making a recent investment in Leapmotor. This move illustrates a willingness to acknowledge their rivals while highlighting their previous struggles to establish a strong foothold independently. It's like realizing you need a buddy to navigate the rocky terrain ahead. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the ongoing price wars shaking up the automotive industry, especially in China. Picture this: over 40 different electric vehicle vehicle brands are duking it out with aggressive pricing strategies. It's a high-stakes, no-holds-barred kind of showdown, and it has caused some serious pressure for traditional automakers like Stellantis to rethink their pricing models and product offerings. In this free-for-all, those brands focused solely on getting flashy vehicles out the door are gonna get steamrolled if they aren't careful. So what's Stellantis up against in this intense environment? Well, unlike established players like Tesla, which has cultivated strong brand loyalty, Stellantis faces the uphill battle of gaining that same level of trust among consumers. Tesla's supporters are willing to pay a premium for their vehicles because they believe in the brand's mission and vision. In sharp contrast, Stellantis may struggle to maintain high price points when faced with the cutthroat competition lurking around every corner. It's as if they have a full plate and are trying to juggle way too many flaming torches at once, while trying not to drop a single one. Strategic recommendation. In today's fast-paced automotive landscape, regaining market share and revitalizing dealer trust isn't just a goal, it's a necessity for Stellantis as it navigates a constantly evolving sector. Imagine a future where Stellantis doesn't just compete, but thrives, where both consumers and dealers feel a renewed sense of loyalty and enthusiasm. Achieving that vision calls for a strategic long-term plan that digs deep into foundational areas of the business and redefines relationships and processes. To truly foster strong dealer relationships, the first thing Stellantis should consider is enhancing communication. Think about it. When there's an open line of communication, it builds trust and fosters a collaborative environment. What if Stellantis established regular monthly meetings with its dealers? Picture a virtual coffee catch-up where everyone has the chance to voice concerns, share insights, and strategize together. Quarterly reviews could serve as checkpoints, all to ensure that both the company and dealers are aligned in their aspirations and goals. But there's more. Stellantis could also kick off some exciting incentive programs targeted specifically at dealerships. What do those look like? Imagine rewarding dealerships for hitting sales targets, effectively managing inventory, and ultimately improving customer satisfaction. It could be anything from financial bonuses to additional marketing support, essentially creating a win-win situation that emphasizes mutual success and growth. Shifting gears, let's delve into inventory management. Without smart strategies in place, managing inventory can become an overwhelming challenge. Stellantis can turn to advanced analytics to optimize inventory levels based on up-to-the-minute market demand. This data-driven approach acts like a compass, guiding the company to avoid excess stock of less popular models while ensuring the most sought-after trims are always available. Imagine the peace of mind for both Stellantis and its dealers, knowing they can meet customer needs without the headache of overstock. What about pricing? Introducing dynamic pricing strategies could take Stellantis to a whole new level. These models would empower dealerships to adjust prices according to local market conditions, ensuring competitiveness against emerging brands. It's like giving dealers the flexibility they need to respond quickly to changing dynamics. Talk about a game changer. Of course, we need to focus on innovation and electrification. Stellantis must ramp up its investment in research and development, particularly when it comes to electric vehicles and cutting-edge technologies. Picture Stellantis launching a diverse lineup of electric vehicle models, each designed to capture the hearts of various consumer segments. It's not just about having electric vehicles available, it's about creating vehicles that drive excitement and meet the ever-evolving preferences of the market. So what do you think? With these strategies in play, Stellantis can not only reclaim its place in the market, but also elevate itself as a beloved and trusted brand in the eyes of dealers and consumers alike. It's time for a transformation, not just to adapt, but to lead in a way that resonates deeply with everyone involved. When you combine passion with purpose, who knows what remarkable feats can be achieved? Let us know your thoughts in the comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.